back to our channel. Today we are covering AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Certification. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. Our team is working hard to keep the content up to date. If you find this video helpful, let us know in the comment. We really appreciate if you like and subscribe to our channel. Today's question is: a lambda function processes data before sending it to a downstream service. Each piece of data is approximately 1 MB in size. After a security audit, the function is now required to encrypt the data before sending it downstream. Which API call is required to perform the encryption? Option A. Pass the data to the KMS re-encrypt API for encryption. Option B. Use the KMS generate data key API to get an encryption key. Option C. Use the KMS generates here key without plain text API get an encryption key. And option D. Pass the data to KMS as part of the encrypt API for encryption. The correct answer is option B. Next question is: a company wants to migrate an existing on-premises web application to AWS. The existing technology stacks consist of configuration files, application code that connects to a MySQL database by using a language-specific MySQL API, and a source code repository that holds configuration files and program code. A developer uses an Amazon RDS for MySQL DB instance as a target database. The developer uses a container as the compute engine for the web application program code. The developer wants to configure the database connection from the web application code to the new RDS for MySQL DB instance without refactoring the existing code. The developer also must maximize security for the storage of the database username and password pair that the application code uses. Which combination of steps should the developer take to meet these requirements? Select two options. Please go through the options. The correct answer is option B and D. Moving to next question. A developer manages an application that interacts with Amazon RDS. After observing slow performance with read queries, the developer implements Amazon Elastic Cache to update the cache immediately following the primary database update. What will be the result of this approach to caching? Option A. Caching will increase the load on the database instance because the cache is updated for every database update. Option B. Caching will slow performance of the read queries because the cache is updated when the cache cannot find the requested data. Option C. The cache will become large and expensive because the infrequently requested data is also returned to the cache. And option D. Overhead will be added to the initial response time because the cache is updated only after a cache miss. The correct answer is option C. Next question is: an e-commerce manages its applications infrastructure by using AWS Elastic Beanstalk. A developer wants to deploy the new version of the application with the least possible application downtime. The developer also must minimize the application's rollback time if there are issues with the deployment. Which approach will meet these requirements? Option A. Use a rolling deployment to deploy the new version. Option B. Use a rolling deployment with additional batches to deploy the new version. Option C. Use an all-at-once deployment to deploy the new version. And option D. Deploy the new version to a new environment. Use a blue-green deployment. The correct answer is option D. Next question is, a company is hosting a workshop for external users and wants to share the reference documents with the external users for 7 days. The company stores the reference documents in an Amazon S3 bucket that the company owns. What is the most secure way to share the documents with the external users? Option A. Use S3 pre-signed URLs to share the documents with the external users. Set an expiration time of 7 days. Option B. Move the documents to an Amazon Workdocs folder. Share the link of the Workdocs folder with the external users. Option C. Create temporary IAM user that have read-only access to the S3 bucket. Share the access keys with the external users. Expire the credentials after 7 days. And option D. Create a role that has read-only access to the S3 bucket. Share the Amazon resource name of this role with the external users. The correct answer is option A. Next question is, a developer has created a Java application that runs on AWS Elastic Beanstalk with the default Elastic Beanstalk instance profile. The developer needs to visualize a map of the application's interactions with AWS services to help identify and debug issues with the application. Which combination of steps should the developer take to meet this requirement with the least operational effort? Select two options. Option A. Instrument the code by using the AWS X-Ray Software Development Kit for Java. Option B. Create an Elastic Beanstalk configuration file to download and install the AWS X-Ray daemon on the underlying Amazon FC2 instances. Option C. Enable the AWS X-Ray daemon in the Elastic Beanstalk console. Option D. Enable Elastic Beanstalk Enhanced Health Reporting. And option E. Configure AWS CloudTrail to visualize the services map. The correct answer is option B and C. Next question is, a developer is writing an application in Python. The application runs on AWS Lambda. The application generates a file and needs to upload this file to Amazon S3. The developer must implement this upload functionality with the least possible change to the application code. Which solution meet these requirements? Option A. Make an HTTP request directly to the S3 API to upload the file. Option B. Include the AWS SDK for Python in the Lambda function. Use the SDK to upload the file. Option C. Use the AWS SDK for Python that is installed in the Lambda environment to upload the file. And option D. Use the AWS CLI that is installed in the Lambda environment to upload the file. The correct answer is option C. Next question is, a company has a web application that runs on Amazon EC2 instances with a custom Amazon machine image. The company uses AWS CloudFormation to provision the application. The application runs in the East US East 1 region and the company needs to deploy the application to the US West 1 region. An attempt to create the AWS Cloud Formation Stack in US West 1 falls. An error message states that the AMI ID does not exist. A developer must resolve this error with a solution that uses the least amount of operational overhead. Which solution made these requirements? Please go through the options. The correct answer is option B. Thank you.